Hi everyone, hope you all are good. We are here for grade 9 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 9 and then click on view all lessons. So there you can find the list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter relations and functions. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. Okay, so here I'm on the grade 9 math. Chapter we are on right now is relations and functions. Let's just start with the first lesson, that is identify dependent and independent variables. Okay, let's just start with the first example. Michael is planning a birthday party and plans to serve cupcakes. There, the more of her friends who plan to attend the party, the more cupcakes she will prepare. F is the number of Nichols' friends who plan to attend the party, and C is the number of cupcakes Nicole will prepare. Which of the variable is independent and which is dependent? So you can see this line. The more of her friends who plan to attend the party, the more cupcakes she will prepare. So if she have more friends, she will prepare more cupcakes. That means cupcakes are dependent on the number of friends, right? So F is the independent variable and C is the dependent. Number of cakes depend on the number of friends who plan to attend the birthday party, right? So F is the independent variable and C is the dependent variable, right? Let's just start with the test questions. Susie and Candice are organizing a car wash to raise money to buy new hockey sticks for their school's hockey team. The number of hockey sticks they will be able to purchase for the team depends on the number of cars they wash. So CS is the number of hockey sticks Susie and Candice will be able to purchase, and C is the number of cars Susie and Candice wash. So which of the variables is independent and which is dependent? This is very important line, that is the number of hockey sticks they will be able to purchase for the team depends on the number of cars they wash, right? So that means the number of hockey sticks is dependent and the number of cars Susie and Candice wash is independent, right? The correct option is S is the dependent variable, C is the independent variable, and S is the dependent variable, right? The correct option is C is independent and S is dependent variable. Dependent variable option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, Emma is planning to go on the some rides at the Crawford Country Fair. So she must purchase some ride tickets. The number of ride tickets Emma purchases dictates how many rides she can go on. So which is the correct option? The number of ride tickets Emma purchases dictates how many rides she can go on. So number of rides depend on the number of tickets she have, right? So R is the dependent variable and T, right? T is the independent variable and R is the dependent variable. The Putnam Coffee House brews fresh roasted coffee beans to serve to their patrons. The amount of coffee that will need to brew in a day depends on the number of patrons they have. So, which of the variable is independent and which is dependent? The amount of coffee they will brew in a day depends. So, amount of coffee is dependent variable and the number of patrons are the independent variable. P is the independent variable and C is the dependent variable, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. And the next lesson is identify functions. Look at this set of ordered pair. Is this a relation? Which is the correct option? Okay, so you have to see if this is a relation. So just look at the x values of the given ordered pairs, right? So each x map to only one y value. You have 18. For 18, you have 14. You have 1, you have 3, 9, 17. Each value of x, you have only one value of y, right? So a relation is a function if each x value is paired with exactly one y value. So yes, that is a function, right? Okay, just look at the other example. Look at the mapping domain. Is this a relation a function? Yes, it is. For each x value, you have only one y value. So yes, that is a function. Let's just start with the test questions. Look at the y. Look at this graph. Is this relation a function? Which is the correct option? The correct option is no. Because a relation is a function if there is only for each x value you have only one y value. But here you can see for one x value you have one, two, three y values, right? So no, this isn't a function. The correct option is no. Okay, the next one is look at this set of ordered pairs. Is this relation a function? Which is the correct option? The correct option is yes, it is because for each value of x, there is only one value of y. So, yes, this is the correct option. The correct option is yes, it is for each value of x, you have only one value of y. So, the correct option is yes. Look at this table. Is this a relation a function? Which is the correct option? The correct option is no, because you can see you have x value 19, two same values for x, right? So the function is the one that in which for each value of x you have only one value of y. So the correct option is no. Look at this graph. The correct option is yes, that's a function. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let's just move on to next lesson. And the next lesson is identify functions with vertical line test. Okay, look at this graph. Is this function a relation? So you have to do a vertical line test. A vertical line test means you need to make a vertical line. If the intersects the graph, a relation is a function. You can use the vertical line test on a graph to determine whether a relation is a function. It is impossible to draw a vertical line that intersects the graph more than once. Then for each x value is paired with exactly one y value, so the relation is a function. If it is possible to draw a vertical line that intersects the graph more than once, then there is an x value that is paired in with more than one y value, so the relation is not a function, right? So that means if you draw a line that intersects the graph more than once, that means that isn't a function. But if it is impossible to draw a line that intersects the graph more than once, then that would be a function. Just look at the second example. That isn't a function, right? If you draw a line, that vertical line that intersects this graph into 2 points, so that is not a function. Let's just start with the test questions. Is this relation a function? That's the one we just did on the tutorial. Which is the correct option? The correct option is no. Because if you draw a vertical line, the graph intersects more than one point, right? So that means this isn't the function. The correct option is no. Look at this graph. Is this a relation a function? No, this isn't a function. The correct option is no. Look at this graph. Is this a relation a function? The correct option is no. This isn't a function. The correct option is no. Sorry, the correct option is no. This isn't a function, right? Because if you make a vertical line that intersects the graph on more than one point. Look at this graph. Is this a relation a function? Yes, it is, right? If you make a vertical line that intersects the point only at only one point. So, yes, that is a function. Is this function a relation? The correct option is yes, it is. Because if you make a straight line that intersects the graph at only one point. So, the correct option is yes. The correct option is yes, it is. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. And the next lesson is domain and range of the relations. is the domain of the relation? Domain is all the x values in a function. Okay, so what? Write the numbers in the domain. Domain is the x values and range are the y values. So just write down the x values. 3, -2, and -4 is the domain of this function. Here, -4, -2, and 3. Domain is the all the x values of a function and range is all the y values of a function, right? Okay, let's just start with the test questions. What is the range of the function? The range is all the y values of a function, right? So which is the correct option? That is -1, -3, and -5. Option number 1 is the correct option. -5, -3, and -1 is the correct option. What is the domain of the relation? Which is the correct option? Domain is all the y values, right? So the correct option is option number 1, that is 0, 5, and 0. Option number 1 is the correct option. Oh, sorry, domain is all the x values, not the y, right? Domain is all the x values of a function, so that are 4, -4, and -6 is the correct option. Okay, the next one is, what is the range of the relation? The range is 2, 0, -1, and -2. The correct option is number 2 is the correct option. -1, 0, and 2 is the correct option. The range is 4, 14, negative 6 and 11. Option number 1 is 2 is the correct option. What is the domain of the relation? So which is the correct option? Negative 4, negative 2 and 3 is the correct option. Option number 2 is the correct option. Negative 4, negative 2 and 3. That is negative 5, negative 3, negative 1 and 2. Option number 1 is the correct option, right? What is the range of the function? Which is the correct option? That is 5, negative 3 and 5. Option number 3 is the correct option. What is the range of this relation? Which is the correct option? What is the range of the relation? That is negative 1, 3 and 4. Option number 1 is the correct option, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 9 math. Chapter we're working on is the relations and functions, and the lessons we have covered are identify independent and dependent variables, identify functions, vertical line test, and domain and range of the relations. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we did today. That is your homework until next session, right? So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday 5 to 9, or either you can join me in the interactive session that would be daily from 4 to 5 and from 9 to 10. So that's all for today. If you have any questions related to the lessons we have just finished, you can please ask. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any.